Memphis, the Assorted Crackers are bringing you a live podcast experience like no other. Come on and join us at Oxbow on Thursday, October 16th from noon to 7 for an event they're calling Boots, Bourbon, and Barbecue.
We're talking Tecovas Boots, smoky barbecue bites, and live interviews with Rolf Rub Seasoning, Smoke and Mirrors Hat Company, and Old Dominic Distillery. Plus, we'll get the inside story from the family behind Oxbow, Memphis's premier men's style destination.
Yes, it is.
Enjoy specialty cocktails, bourbon tastings, and killer interviews all afternoon long. It's boots on the feet, bourbon in the glass, and barbecue on the grill. And what's better than that?
That's right. Come find us at Oxbow, 964 June Road on October 16th, noon to 7. Guys, don't go stale. Come join us. Welcome to the next Assorted Crackers. I'm Eric. I'm here with Liam Wilson, and we are coming to you from the Bluenote Bourbon Tasting Room in North Memphis. And if you could smell what I'm smelling right now, you'd be super, super jealous. And we're really excited to welcome a couple of guests today. Logan Welk, who is president of Bluenote, and Greg Smith, CFO. So I don't know who's minding the store, guys, but we're tickled to have you joining us. And today we're going to get into it. Yes, we're going to talk about bourbon. Yes, we're going to talk about Memphis a little bit. There's a lot more going on here than most people really know about. And so we hope to get into some of those stories. So welcome. Good to have you here. Let's get going.
Let's do it.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Lee, maybe I'll kick us off. Because we just kind of want to warm up the room. Everybody's holding something in their glass. Logan, Greg, what are you guys drinking right now? What do you got?
So right now I'm drinking our distillery pick, which the fun thing about this one is it's a 7813 mash bill, so a little bit different than what most of our single barrels are.
And I've got our Lost Notice finish, Argentinian wine barrel. Really delicious, a little bit funky, but super great. Super great.
Well, when you say funky, it's not really funky.
It's Greg's version of funky.
It's just got an earthy tone.
Earthy. I get chocolate.
I can see that.
But it is so good.
So good.
Los Nodos has made an appearance on this show before with great regard. So,
awesome. And I may or may not lead with a bottle tonight.
You're welcome to as many as you want.
It's going to be great.
As long as you pay for it.
As long as I pay for it. I'll be paying for retail price.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Family discounts for
That's right.
Well, thanks for welcoming us in. No kidding. It is a treat to be here. And I like the atmosphere here, the oak, the smell. It is, I might spend the night if that's okay.
This is what you want in a cologne.
As long as you're not driving. I'd have a hard time explaining to the officer, no, I've not been drinking. I'm just wearing this Bluenote cologne.
Sure you are.
Yeah.
Well, Lee, I know you wanted to get a little bit into the business here, a little bit of the distribution business. So I'll let you go now.
I do. But before we jump in that, you want to give us an elevator speech? What is your pitch?
Yep.
When you pitch Bluenote, you're out and about and you're doing some Bluenote stuff. What do you say when you're in the market?
Well, I think one of the big distinctions for us is having the product and the price point that we're at, especially everything that went crazy during the pandemic. It really established us as a brand, and you look at the quality behind it. It's one thing to say we have good products, another thing for the external world to agree and sort of shout that year after year. And after the tour we just did, walking through the warehouse, the banners, you can just see time and time again, if you go to the shelf, you've got an excellent product that you can take home with you.
Yeah. Well, I think you guys have done a good job. I'm looking for, we're going to dive deeper in strategy and what's going on with that. But, it's important to hear things about what you're doing and why you do it. You want to give us a little backstory on you? Where'd you come from? How long have you been here?
So my background's probably a little atypical. So came to Memphis back in 2006, went to Rhodes for undergrad, grad school. Background was actually in banking, worked at First Horizon as an intern, then KPMG for 7 years, doing a combination of both audit, tax, and advisory. So was one of those.
This is a lot more fun.
This is a lot more fun. I would say now it's fewer hours, though the earlier days were comparable hours to the KPMG days. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's an exciting experience when each day brings new challenges. Even though the alcohol industry has literally been around for thousands of years, it's the constant growth, the things that come out of it, and state by state, everything is unique. And so the challenges and the exciting things that come with it, it's really been enjoyable.
Well, you might be able to give my daughter some advice because she started with KPMG yesterday.
Awesome.
Oh boy. Yeah, she'll want to.
And my advice, be like, it's you tough it out.
You got to go through the sausage factory. You got to learn.
You get ground. I was one of the unfortunate individuals who earned the title of the highest billing individual in the entire company.
Oh wow. Don't do that, Megan. Don't do that.
That's painful. You lose track of what day it is.
I bet. Greg, what about you? What's your story?
Well, graduated from Ole Miss in '91 with a master's in accounting and went to Ernst & Young. So similar background on the accounting side. Big Four here in Memphis. Enjoyed my time there, worked in a lot of small businesses, which led more or less to my mostly working in small businesses around town. Moved back from Atlanta in the early 2000s and have helped, worked at Wiseacre, helped them grow, build a new brewery downtown. Worked at a few other smaller places around town, industrial automation, industrial services, I should say.
Some
Nonprofit work with United Way.
Yeah.
So did a lot of consulting with different people as a fractional CFO. So landed here almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We've grown since then. I take credit for all the growth.
Yes, you should.
That's absolutely. The CFO is the highest he's the best salesperson in the
Greg
country.
took my old job, so.
Well, that's right.
So you were CFO.
I originally came on as CFO, yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man,
Okay.
the
No, I have a lot of backup. Logan
that's
helps
right.
a lot having that background. For
Absolutely.
Did you, when you stepped in, did you find problems with the books that you had to clean up?
To be fair, I had been out of the CFO position for a bit.
Okay.
We found a couple of things,
Yeah.
but it's everything is about getting better every day.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're always looking. There are things that we need to fix that I've been working on for a year. I mean, it's everything is around building better systems, better processes, more structure, helping people know what they're looking at. Going to do day to day, how much they're improving, how well we're doing, whether it's market by market or out here in the shop.
Well, and the asks change too. It's as you get more people, they're looking for different things, and then the speed associated with it. I mean, it all elevates.
Sure. So, do you have a bourbon origin story? Like, when did you first?
Well, so not technically bourbon, though also bourbon, but the origin story would be in college. I didn't play beer pong. I played whiskey pong with Gentleman Jack.
Oh,
So what was weird, the thinking in it, the people that knew me in college would agree, I would get drunk for beer. I wouldn't get drunk from Jack at all.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'd just smile, but I wouldn't.
And you were really good at. You were really good at.
I was really good. So what's really bad is so roommate in college, he literally set up a beer pong table in his room, and we would have to practice. And by practice, it was literally you're pouring coffee, and if it was too hot, you had to add ice cubes to your coffee so you could practice. Yeah, it was
Rhodes
intense.
is at another level.
Yes.
I have to say.
That's pretty strong.
Yes.
Pretty strong.
Greg, you went to Ole
Nothing
Miss.
like those small liberal arts schools to teach you the
They're
finer
not-
things of
Yes.
life.
Absolutely.
So if you didn't have a bourbon origin before you went to Ole Miss, I guarantee
did.
you got one there.
Both. Jack Daniels was as you mentioned, was the drink of choice. I mean, and when I was with my dad, it was the single barrel Jack Daniels, which was out back in the 80s.
Very
And
nice.
that was the
Very nice.
that was the one. If I was with Dad, if I was by myself, it was Jack Black, and let's go. But I was more into beer too. So that as the beer world started exploding and all the craft beer started happening. I mean, I remember going to, I guess it was Bosco or Ghost River, South Maine, and pulling up to the dock and getting what's his name, who's now nationally known to pour growlers for me. I mean, so I got into beer. That part of what led me to Wiseacre, but that was my experience in the alcohol industry before I came here. There's a lot to learn with the 3-tier distribution system, with the different laws, the different relationships, and the way the entire industry works from a cash flow perspective. That I gained at Wiseacre, and then I was able to use here and get a little bit of a head start over your typical CFO walking in with no experience.
Well, I appreciate that you're local. You're
Me too.
Definitely supportive of local brands. You're at Ole Miss about the same time as I was, and I told a story earlier about Kiami's liquor store there next to the bowling alley. That was the one place that they didn't really card.
No.
And so you learn that pretty quickly. And we would go in with our, $20 bill and get a pint of white label Jim Beam. And we thought we were all set for the weekend,
Oh, absolutely. You could cash your check with Miss May, I think was her name, at the bowling alley.
Yeah.
So I'd get the check from mom and dad and go cash a check and then walk around the corner and then,
So, I wanted to ask about the NDP model and why it works for y'all.
Yep. So for us,
and if you could say what the NDP.
Yep. So it's
just to.
I don't even know what you're referring to, honestly, but that's
is that a non-disclosure agreement?
Yeah, non-distilling producer is ultimately what it's referring to, and there's different models in this business. And for the vast majority of brands that you're familiar with, they originally started as NDPs. And a lot of that can be hidden with different labeling, especially if you're producing and still selling and bottling the product in Kentucky or Tennessee. But for us, it worked out really well because before there was Bluenote, there were a lot of barrels here. So this facility was storage for a large number of brands. We've shipped to 125 different DSPs across the country.
DSP is?
It's a distilled spirits producer. And for us, it was kind of seeing behind the scenes where liquid was driving it before there was even a brand strategy. And for us, it was, okay, what does it cost to actually stand up a distillery at scale? You can do the small scale mom and pop type stuff that's maybe a couple thousand or a couple 100,000. You go to larger scale, that's 50 million, 150 million. You go bigger scale, you're talking about $1 billion+ CapEx projects. Well, as a company in North Memphis with nobody that worked here having any industry experience, nobody's writing you a 500 million whatever dollar check on day one to get into that side of the business. You look at what is reasonable and where do you want to put your dollars when you are a young company. And you have the choice of you stand up the distillery or you start to source it. For us, it was a combination of sourcing, but also having inventory already here that we had access to that people couldn't even dream of having access to. Literally 12, 15,000 barrels of product sitting here that we had the ability to go in and taste. It's like when Bluenote was first launched, that was all Diageo Tullahoma product.
Right.
But not all of that product ever went into a Diageo Tullahoma George Dickel product. And it was kind of interesting. They're like, oh, well, I've got different nuances, but the flavor is not what I'm used to drinking from George Dickel.
Right.
It's like, because ultimately it isn't necessarily anything that would have ever become George Dickel.
Right.
And
it didn't have their profile.
It didn't have their profile, and a lot of it is, okay, you're not doing chill filtration. You got different mash bill, different entry proofs, different aging environments. I mean, all of it comes into play. And that was a big thing, too, is if it didn't go through Lincoln County, which a lot of it didn't, then you don't even check the box for Tennessee whiskey.
Right.
So you've got all those different nuances that played into it. And then you start to learn more. And it's, well, would Memphis even be a good spot to actually stand up large-scale distillation? And the answer is not really. Like, you can make anything work anywhere, but from just like a grain perspective, there's enough large-scale consumers of grain with the Tysons and the food products of the world nearby that they can swing the market to an extent that this isn't necessarily the best place for it. And you go up to Kentucky and there's a little bit more buffer associated with this. There's also not a lot of cattle around here to consume the product, whereas Kentucky's got a little bit more of that built up. Okay. This is more of just an agricultural area. It's like some of those things that you don't necessarily think about don't exist in Western Tennessee, particularly Memphis. But for us, it was a pretty easy decision. We worked with a bunch of different producers. We've looked at Tennessee Distilling, individuals in the Carolinas, MGP, multiple producers across Kentucky, ultimately settled on DSP Kentucky 10, which is Green River. We've been working with them since 2018, established a really good relationship. Ultimately, they were acquired by Bardstown. That relationship's grown and expanded over the years. And it's when you're able to outsource that more scientific repeat process.
So you got the consistency.
Yeah, you've got the consistency.
So they're contract distilling for you with your mash bill.
Yep. So people ask us, like, well, when do you own the barrel? The second the alcohol touches it, we're the owners of that barrel.
Okay.
They send us a bill. I get them.
Yeah. It's that's the weird thing. It's like you are sourcing, but that you're also contract distilling, and when those things cross. So right now, everything has been owned by us the entire life of the barrels that's going into the product.
That's new to me. Like I assumed you just went up there and said, I'll take that one, that one, and that one. You bring it back here and you finish it.
Nope.
But you're involved on the very beginning of that mash bill.
Yep.
And correct me if I'm wrong. You those go up there. They sit there for a year and a day.
Yep. Sit up there for a year and a day. There's a lot of rules and stories behind that, but ultimately, year and a day, you live in Kentucky, so you get to check the box on it's Kentucky bourbon. Yep. For the people that want to say all bourbon has to come from Kentucky, you can just say, you're right.
It
does. Just move on.
Yeah.
Because it did. So after a year and a day, you move it here. It's still Kentucky bourbon. I think I was telling you guys earlier about the story of we had a rick house collapse back in 2019
That's
around
right.
the 1 year age mark. So you can build in the marketing side of, well, we're getting it out of Kentucky because bad things happen after a year.
Yeah.
That works too.
But there's a story.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, oh my gosh, the building fell. This is a survivor barrel.
That's the thing is like there's so much stuff that's come out of this that like you can make a great story. And even the survivor barrels, when that happened, it went into every single product we have. It wasn't held back. It was, these are the only barrels we've got. So it's going into Juke. It's going into Uncut.
You can get the survivor barrel. Come on. It's a little extra premium on it. That's good.
Yeah.
We do have them here for sale at the distillery.
It's true.
You still can move a couple? You got a couple left?
That's what that shelf is.
There you go.
So you were saying during the tour,
Yep.
so we think, okay, these barrels have started in Kentucky a year and a day. They come here. You've got different ways to finish.
Yep.
But we just got finished with yet another. I mean, we're sitting here October 2nd, right? We just are wrapping up, but yet another miserably hot summer.
Yep.
And as people living in Memphis, we're kind of over it. But for the thing sitting in that barrel, that's probably a good thing. So talk about the advantage of finishing in Memphis.
Yep. So there's multiple benefits of Memphis as a whole and this location in particular. So anybody that's been to Memphis, especially people that live here, you don't have to sell them on heat, humidity. It's understood. But what does it actually do to a barrel? For us, I always assumed it was we're getting maybe a couple more months of active aging per year versus living in Kentucky. Finally ran the reports, and we are aging for almost entire 12 months out of the year, where you're getting that constant interaction. We do luckily bottom out where you get the full extraction, drives to the core of the barrel, but we turn so quickly out of that it's effectively a 12-month aging cycle. But we have the benefit of most clients that have that heat, we get the humidity to balance it out. So humidity does a couple of things. It seals the barrel. So like water, it's actually sealing the pores. So what that's doing is you're allowed to build more pressure. So more pressure for longer, you're getting deeper penetration into the oak.
Into the wood.
Into the wood.
Yeah.
So it's like our red line is actually pushed a lot further in for a 4-year-old barrel than you would ever expect. And it's really cool to see that interaction, stretch it for 12 months, and you're getting X number of months on an annual basis of additional aging. The higher humidity means we're also evaporating less into the air, so we're retaining more in the barrel. So like all those things are ultimately compounding and being really beneficial to us. But then you look at what is unique about our location from just Memphis as a whole. We're luckily far enough outside of downtown that the heat island effect doesn't impact us, so we get really cold at night. And by cold, it's just, it's degrees, but it's cooler. And it was one of those things is it real or is it marketing? And I used to live out east, drive here in the morning, and especially like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, you get here, and from out east to here, you're holding about the same temperature. Within a mile, you'll drop 5 degrees almost every single day.
Wow.
Yep. And fog skyrockets because you got the Wolf River to the north, Mississippi to the west. So that's an evidence of the humidity. Mm-hmm. The 2 days a year that snows here, we'll get 5 inches more snow on this site than anywhere else.
Really?
It's the craziest thing.
Wow.
So did you know you were going to become a scientist after you got your master's degree?
You're an accounting scientist?
So hey, it's a master's of science in accounting. So we pulled it all together. But it is amazing how you just do the deep dive and just try to just consume as much information in this industry. And that's what's so fun is you're constantly learning these things, and things that start as a marketing idea, you'll learn there's actually a reality behind it, which develops into the brand story, and you kind of just build from there.
So nerds like me,
yep.
I mean, what do you read? Where do you get this industry information? How do I go deeper if I want to geek out on stuff like this?
What's really weird is it originally started as some of the more established books out there from the historical perspective. But now it's honestly just reading random stuff that pops up online. And it'll be whether an influencer just has something that they hint at and you go deeper on it. Like there's just so much information that you can absorb out there. And it's also just talking to people who've been in the industry for an extremely long time.
Right.
That's the nice thing about this industry. People talk about how like supportive it is. It's true to a point. On the operations production side, it's incredibly supportive. They will share information left and right. Sales, you go to the cutthroat side, that's business. But like operations, you talk to people that have been here for 30 plus years, and they will tell you about things that they've seen, things that have gone wrong. And like, it's great to just absorb the information from them. And a big part of it too is we get to have different conversations than most consumers do. So like, if we go to tours of facilities, it's not the same tour that a person off the street's going to get. We can laugh about the things that marketing stores have spun up and know like, that's not true at all. Or yeah, that's your key selling point. We all know that doesn't actually have any influence. But it's like you can then have the real conversations, which is more exciting to people that are living and breathing it on a daily basis.
You guys chose your model. It appears to me, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but your model, you chose to have a baseline juke joint for the bourbon and for the rye, and you want to have that as an everyday product, one that would sit on the bar. And the bartenders would use it for drinks, for mixing drinks, and then for everybody can go out and afford the bottle of juke joint. And it is a fantastic way to step into the bourbon world, because both of those are great. I think you chose the right proof point. 93 proof. And the rye is fantastic for old fashions. Bourbon is great for anything else. But I get that and I applaud that. So what made you make that decision as to always have a baseline? I mean, some of these people, Penelope or whoever, pick them.
Blue Run.
There's other people who have chosen to have limited release. But then when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, so there's the approach of, do you want to be a brand that has longevity, or do you want to be the one that's something new on a weekly basis? Okay. And that's where, is it consumers, retailers, who is it that you're selling to? And what is the life cycle of that person? If it's always, I need to have the next thing, at some point you run out of the next thing. There's only so many different mash bill, special expression, age ranges that you're going to come out with. And there's also a point where retailers are going to say, you've asked me to pick up 65 products this year. Half of them sold. Why am I going to pick up the next round?
Yeah.
And if your price point isn't at one where somebody can go in and try it and not regret buying it, you're probably going to be the last purchase they ever make. And that's where you look at the pandemic and you look at sales figures, and they just went straight through the roof. What I don't know actually happened was consumption actually up meaningfully. I don't think it was that much.
No, because I still got plenty.
And like a lot of people, they're literally sitting on a lifetime supply of bourbon, and it's how much did you consume?
Lee? I don't know. I don't have a drinking problem.
I had a buying problem.
I might have a buying problem.
You have a buying problem.
It was a buying problem during COVID.
But
now that you've gone through it all, you want the consistency. You want the what's always going to be there. And I think that's what y'all have done a very good job of doing, is making, whether it's juke joint, even some of your special releases, they're consistent and you know they're good.
We got started with limited time offers. That's where they built the reputation.
You did Dickel better than Dickel.
That's what I'm saying. People still ask for the 9-year-old.
The 9-year-old?
The 9-year, the 17, all of that stuff.
I just finished the 9 and 17 probably about 3 months ago.
And so that's what built the credibility that we have to get on the shelf. But when you think about, like you said, the value chain from the consumer all the way up through us, and they're having to write a check, everybody in that chain is having to write a check. And the retailer is the one that gets stuck if that doesn't sell.
And then it ripples back through everybody.
So how do the retailers feel about that? I mean, people are always fighting for shelf space. I mean, how does that work?
So it's very interesting to see the retail dynamic shift pretty dramatically. And some of the brands you mentioned, there's a reason their price points have been slashed dramatically over the last, call it 6 to 12 months. And for people that aren't familiar, to cut your pricing in this industry is one of the worst and hardest things for you to do as a company, because it's not just what you're selling next. Everything on the shelf, you're buying that price down to the retailer. And that is extremely costly. If you forced a product nationwide, and you don't know how many thousands of cases is sitting on the shelf. That's where the surprise bills come from. And very few brands are able to go from we're living the allocated release model to become the everyday with the exact same product.
Right.
Because it's a different person that chased it, consumed it.
Yeah.
And it's a very hard transition to make.
Well, and today, okay, so pre-COVID, COVID, where we are today, I mean, maybe we saw the rise of things, people buying and hoarding and building bunkers of bourbon.
Literally.
But now you've got, because they were working on all of that during COVID, I mean, it's 2025, 2026, we've got a glut.
Yeah.
So the price of barrels, if you're purchasing special limited barrels, is probably lower than it was 2 years ago.
Oh,
so your cost, you got a cost problem.
Yep.
And you know, and when you were buying 17-year-old juice or 9-year-old juice, you were paying a premium for it, so you had to charge a premium for it. So you had to wonder, am I pricing myself out of the market, or what's going on with that?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, and the price sensitivity, it's amazing how different it is from market to market. A great example is you look at Memphis and Nashville. There's effectively no price sensitivity in the Nashville market, massive price sensitivity and competition in Memphis. And it's interesting to see how external factors, other big players, focus on Memphis because it's inexpensive for them to control the market, test out new things. So like Sazerac in particular has this extremely weighted obsession with controlling Memphis, which is why you will see some of the best prices in the globe here. Allocated products come to Memphis that don't even exist in Kentucky. Like, it's kind of crazy to have that as our backdrop from a competitive standpoint, but it's great because it's, okay, most people assume you're going to like do well in your hometown. For us, our hometown is an extremely competitive landscape to exist in.
Yeah.
So then you go to your Kentuckys or your bigger markets of like a Florida and a Texas, and you just have to see how business actually engages outside of this little bubble right here.
Wait, so why is that? I mean, what do you think is going on in Memphis?
So
I'm kind of intrigued.
No, there's a lot of historical ties between some of the old Kentucky distilleries and some of the retail networks and some of the distributors that were here, just because it was an easy trip to make from Memphis to Kentucky and get some of these new products into the market.
Makes sense, I guess. Well, so I want to take it back to what you guys are doing here. We've talked about juke joint a lot, and some of the advantages of just the Memphis climate. Like, how do you? I know you're gonna have to cut your whiskey down as it comes out of the barrel. Is there something special you're doing here when it comes to something like that?
So this is where it's interesting. Is you've got the benefit of starting with Kentucky limestone water, so you check the box on the distillate side, you've got great water there. Then you bring it down to Memphis, where you get to tap into the Memphis Sands aquifer, which you can argue it, but the reality is it's still some of the purest water on planet Earth.
And you're here.
Yeah.
So another bottle.
Greg's refilling.
I'm sorry. We had to have a refill here. If you hear glurt, 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 that's the bubble of the bottle.
But I think that's developed into what the brand story is. We're taking advantage of what the best geography areas can offer us. You take advantage of expert distillation, limestone waters in Kentucky, check the box on that, move it to Memphis, the best aging climate. You've got the best Memphis Sands aquifer proofing water, and pulling it all together. And it's not that you're fighting one story versus the other. It's we're taking advantage of what the best of both worlds give us and pulling it together, offering it to consumers at a great price.
I love that.
Yep.
I love the great
It seems simple. It seems simple, but it's remarkably hard to pull it all together.
Yeah.
It's just like everybody should do that.
So, sure.
I mean, you do some limited time stuff, but your SKUs right now, you've got juke joint. You got juke joint rye. Right?
It's just rye.
It's rye, but Bluenote. I mean, but it's Bluenote. It's Bluenote rye.
It's lime price.
It's Bluenote rye, and it's
93 proof.
93 proof.
Yep.
They're mash bills
95.5. Yep.
So it's the Indiana type.
And people are always surprised that it doesn't drink like it because they're so used to Indiana rye.
Right.
It's the overwhelming rye on the market. Yeah. If you look at the shelf, probably 80% of what's on the shelf is an MGP based 95.5 rye.
Right.
But
they're so different.
They're dramatically different. And you go to the Kentucky rye. this one in particular has so many, I just call it like bourbon-esque qualities.
Yes.
That's like the great intro rye to the category.
Yes.
And the hundreds or thousands, whatever number of tastings done at this point, it's amazing how polarizing rye is. People hate rye that have never tried rye in their entire life.
Talk about Crossroads, because it's such a unique flavor.
Crossroads is my favorite for an everyday. So you're 100 proof, toasted French oak, but it all starts as the exact same mash bill as what goes in a juke joint. And it's that secondary finishing where you're bringing up just those completely different profiles. And that's 2 different stave profiles on the French oak. And then we have to adjust the amount of time that it's aging depending on if it's hot, cold, excessively humid. But that all plays into it. And it's the one product we have in particular that definitely doesn't drink like it's 100 proof at all.
No.
So smooth. And it's such an overused term in this industry, but it's the one that, yeah, it's smooth.
I think that's one of your best.
Yep.
For sure.
It's mine.
Fantastic.
It's my favorite.
What do you think?
I do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that it should be, I think it should be a bigger seller. I love
I
that.
agree. It's frustrating, but that's the category as a whole.
So,
All right, can I ask?
go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to ask what we've got here. Greg, what did you pour us?
This is Crossroads.
No, but is this something special?
This is special.
It is. It's a barrel proof Crossroads.
Okay. It is.
So we went to the
It is
barrel.
fantastic.
We went to the
It's
barrel
about
before it got proofed down.
116. This is 116
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
It is-
special.
It is
versus the
fantastic.
100 proof. And
Yeah.
this is an example of the way it comes out of the tank.
Yeah.
After the staves,
Yeah.
after it sits in the finishing tanks for 7 to 8 weeks
Yeah.
typically.
Yeah.
And so we pulled some of this just to think about what it would do in the marketplace.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of R&D around here lately.
We do a lot.
This is
It's really
it's a
good.
banger.
And
It's
the
a banger.
color,
It's a
the
banger.
color on a full bottle is just ridiculous too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's jump into some rapid fire real quick.
gosh.
Are you ready?
No.
It's easy. This is easy. We're here. Rapid fire time. All right. So I think I already heard you say it.
Yep.
What's your favorite Blue Note child?
Crossroads.
Crossroads.
Yep.
All right, Greg.
No pause.
No pause.
Single barrel rye.
Single barrel rye. I like it. I like it. I cannot argue with either one of them.
Yep.
The ones that are on the shelf. This
Yes.
one's probably the Crossroads.
This is still an R&D.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Yeah. All right.
Maybe one for you, Logan.
Okay.
We're all dog people. I understand you've got a dog.
I do.
Charlie?
Charlie.
So talk about Charlie. How did you acquire Charlie?
So found her in the mountains of East Tennessee at a bourbon event, which actually I think is coming up this weekend now. But yeah, she was a 6-pound, 6-month-old Yorkie that was just alone in the woods. Matted pine cones, worms, everything you could think of. So scooped her up, brought her back, no tags, no chips, anything like that. And she is now the most spoiled dog you could imagine. The downside of Charlie is she either loves you or wants to murder you.
I've got one of those.
Greg is the only person upstairs who falls into the murder
She
category.
wants to murder me.
Yeah. If he walks to my door, hears his voice, she is just straight, I will murder you.
So
Yep.
Charlie comes
Wow.
to work with you.
Yes. Less so lately. She's been entertained at home and just napping a lot, but yeah, she
You know, the
comes
heat will
home.
do that to you.
Yeah.
So where
It's a
did
rough
Charlie
life.
get his name?
So it's not from our salesperson. I saw
That's what I heard.
I saw the notes on that
I'm
one.
just saying. I
Yeah.
mean, that may have been,
Name
implied.
check Charles Long.
So
Love him or hate
the
him.
reality is Charlie's name was not originally Charlie.
Okay.
It was Taylor after Taylor Swift, and my girlfriend was like, that is not happening.
Wow. Good for her.
You're not
Good
going to have
for
a
her.
Taylor Swift in the house.
No.
Okay.
No.
For her.
What is the best meal that you can pair with Blue Note
Oh.
in Memphis?
Oh, in Memphis.
That's a hard one. I mean, obviously barbecue goes well. I'm one of the weird people that can drink bourbon with everything because there's flavor profiles and nuances that you could pick up.
Me too.
I mean, it's I'm not that picky, honestly.
Bourbon for every meal
Yeah,
is good.
that works.
What about you, Greg?
This is
I'm
your
trying to
choice.
think. River Oaks or Moon Dance, both. I've had good old fashions at both of them, typically with steaks. So
Yeah. So you like
I mean, they're both solid.
old fashioned
And they
steak.
both love Blue Note, and we love both of them.
See,
Absolutely.
See, Greg's wise. He shouts out top purchasing accounts.
I like both of those restaurants myself, and I might frequent them.
No.
Yeah, they're both
They
very
love
good.
you.
In fact, my assorted cracker friends took me on my birthday dinner just 2 weeks ago to Moondance.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We may have had an old fashioned.
All right, so Greg, this is going to you before Logan this time. So, do you have any bourbon regrets?
Ooh.
100%.
Okay, what are your
100%,
regrets?
not 100 regrets.
I mean, it'll kick me. I mean, for sure. I mean, the next day, I'm getting too old to tie, 2 or 3 on now. So it's definitely, beer I can handle. I'm like, I think Logan and I are opposite.
Yeah, I'm the opposite.
Bourbon, I need one solid old fashioned or maybe a Manhattan, and
You're
I'm
good.
I don't really have any regrets. Weird experiences being in this industry around bourbon? No. Mm-mm. Well, I'll say there's, man, I'm not even going to tell that story, but you get into some weird conversations with people that like to overshare where they've been drinking bourbon sometimes in this industry, and you're just like, I don't need to know that about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the bourbon itself, no, bourbon's fine.
By the way, we had that same experience amongst the 3 of us.
Well, so I have this odd thing where people I don't know feel the need to share information with me. And it's not just around bourbon. It'll be in the grocery store, which is why I try to avoid the grocery store at all costs now. I'm like, didn't need to know that. Don't know you at all.
You got a very inviting face.
Apparently.
Clearly.
I guess so.
Yeah. What do you want to memorialize for your family, your future family, your children, grandchildren, whoever? What matters to you, and what do you?
Because this will be recorded forever.
This is forever.
It's a weird answer, and it's, I would say, an umbrella type answer, but it's tied to bourbon. I think the thing that you realize very quickly on is the importance of time. And I think what's particularly interesting about bourbon, and it lags what Scotch I think is discovered already, it's the things we can't control. And that's the cool thing about this spirit is everything after it goes into the barrel is what actually makes it great. And I can't control any aspect of that.
Love it.
And I think that's just kind of the cool part of it, that it hasn't earned the recognition that it should. Scotch, from the blender side, everybody gets to talk about that. But for bourbon, it's things you can't control to make it amazing.
Right.
Wow.
Yep.
Love it.
I don't want to follow that.
You know? I mean, I feel like you can jump in.
You're allowed to pass.
I mean, a bourbon barrel is something that, I mean, I've often said it takes the village to raise a child.
Yep.
And you put your DNA in that barrel, and the next thing you know, it comes out with each stave from wherever that wood came from.
Are you answering your own question right now, Lee? I feel like
that's my opinion.
I just spent a weekend with my kids, mostly partying, which is fun, which is great. They're at college, and we had a great time together. And I think it goes to that time thing. I mean, we had so many situations and so much, they lived with us for 18 years, both of them. And then you go to a situation that's uncontrollable, parties and football games that end in crazy, overtimes and sitting in a bar that you weren't supposed to be at watching an Ole Miss game. I don't know. It's just, you just can't build those memories. And my son, who's, more like me, more introverted, sends me a text about how much fun he had. And I'm,
I mean, does that not make your day?
Oh, absolutely. And then my daughter, she's like, we're going to buy the band t-shirts and we're going to dance to the band. And I have a band t-shirt from some Athens, Georgia rock and roll band called Jameson Tank, and my daughter loves them.
There you go.
You never know. You remember Dash Rip Rock?
I do.
I
remember Dash Rip Rock.
Driving and crying.
They rolled into the house and
I do. Anyway, so those experiences you can't control and you never forget.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Well, and your kids will remember that.
I think so.
Too.
I hope so.
I mean,
with
my kids,
it's a narrow window.
Yeah, because it's
really
cool.
is.
You just have those memories.
Go so quickly.
They do, and your kids will remember 10 years from now. It'll be a Christmas dinner, and they'll be like, "Dad, you remember hanging out, watching whatever?"
But you rarely admit it at the time. That's
right.
That's the key to it.
That's it.
Well, guys, it really has been an honor. We're proud that you've opened this place up to us. We're proud that you're in Memphis. We really have been fans of Bluenote long before I walked into this room, but it's great to get a closer look and hear a little bit more from you. And We just appreciate the time. We are a bourbon group, and this has just really whet our appetite for you.
And y'all are doing great stuff.
Thank you.
We appreciate y'all's support.
Yeah.
Y'all love us. We love y'all.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Keep it up.
Sincerely.
Yeah.
So, as we always say, let's not be afraid to try new flavors.
And don't go stale.
Yeah. Anything, Lee? No?
Farts are funny.
Farts are funny! God!